Hey, welcome, welcome.
Welcome everybody back to our podcast. We're so excited to be talking about episode 4 of The Amazing Race. And for those who've been following along during the week, we did our live Q&A where we talked about all the questions and answers you guys had. We were on for almost an hour.
That was amazing. So many great questions.
So much fun. We did our recap where Scott and Lori talk about just Scott and Lori's stuff, and we talked about a bunch of videos and everything related to us. But we're to the most exciting part of the week, I feel like, because we get an opportunity to come on with other racers, whether they're current racers or former racers. We get to talk about things that are going on, even bring the fans into the conversation, because everyone, I think, engages with the race differently.
Yes.
And as a racer, we have some experience with it that we like to kind of talk about, but then others have different opinions. And so I think it's just a lot of fun. So without further ado, I want to bring in our first guest. You might know him from some pretty buff pictures that you can find online.
Tree trunks on his arms.
These guys have massive legs for arms. They are cutting down trees all over the St. Louis area thanks to the tornadoes. They're busier beyond belief, but they took a break from all that tree cutting to join us here today, and we got one of them with us. Welcome to the show,
Jeff.
Hi, Lori. What's up? How y'all doing? It's good to be here.
We're so excited to have you back on the show.
I'm super excited to be here, man. I love it here.
And I feel like there's so much to talk about, so I'm not going to try to get into too much yet. So we bring in our other guests, and then all of us can just hash it out.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So the next person we're going to bring in, this person had an amazing experience on The Amazing Race. It was season 29. You know her as Brooke Camhi. She's a winner of The Amazing Race. Let's bring in Brooke. Welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, Brooke, welcome. This is so exciting.
Hi.
You're like a movie star to all of us. Like Jeff and I are like drooling over here. We're like, oh my gosh, we have a movie star.
Seymour.
Been in the same room as you.
Such a queen.
Oh, Jeff and I have raised a glass together already. I've gotten the pleasure of meeting him and Pops in person. They are phenomenal. Cannot wait to meet you too. And so, this is great. Your season is delivering big time.
Oh my gosh, it is, right? It is like, I mean, when Phil first said twists and turns, we're like, oh, that's exciting. Well, we had no idea how crazy the twists and turns were going to be.
It was an understatement.
Understatement, yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, you won The Amazing Race. Like, you've done what so few can even do, and you did it with a partner.
So did you. Congratulations. Did they? Let's see. I'm reading their faces. I don't know.
Reaction.
I have no idea how this ended, but so far you're all a joy. Like this season's fantastic. So thanks for having me.
It's a great cast. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do a podcast with an amazing gentleman. His name's Bryce. He's phenomenal. Like, he comes from Survivor background, but this guy could not be a bigger fan of The Amazing Race. And that's what I love. Like,
We've turned him.
You can't tell. You can't tell from watching the Purple Pants podcast just how this guy is not part of the Tar family as an alumni. Like, I don't get it.
He gets confused that he is though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Bryce is like amazing guy. Like, let's bring him in without any further ado.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I'm so excited to be here talking Amazing Race, one of the best reality shows on TV, in my opinion.
Yes.
For sure.
And for those that want to follow them on Instagram, I'm going to have their links in here. I'm going to link the podcast because they have some great insights. They do a great show. It does such a phenomenal job of objectivity, but also the tea, the spice, the extra, like, oh, daddy shouldn't have been doing that. Like, what's that about? And for some reason, we somehow have over 500 kids now, according to you guys' podcast.
It feels that way sometimes. It does. It feels that way.
I've been getting cussed out lately on the podcast.
Not by me.
Not by. I know it's by my boy Bryce. It's all good though. It's
all in love.
It's with love.
All in love.
And
I
with
know.
love, I feel like
don't take it easy on me. I don't take it
listen,
easy. I appreciate
I won't.
it.
I feel like you deserve a. Come on, Jeff. Okay.
Yes.
You're still doing that, huh? He hasn't stopped doing that. If you watch our next recap, he did right. Come on, Jeff. We got you.
Well prepared.
I can't wait to see it.
Yep.
Well, let's get into the episode. Let's talk about episode 4, season 37 of The Amazing Race. It was called There's No Addresses in the Jungle. It was said by Josiah because apparently he grew up in the jungle.
I had no idea.
But it was kind of neat to finally understand what that word on his shirt was all about. I had no idea. I probably could have asked. I probably could have.
It was like you were there. Why didn't you just
ask
it?
We literally have no time to talk. We were like running, just run.
I asked him at some point, and he told me, "Yeah, it's a really cool story." When he broke it all down to me,
yeah, so fun. So we started off. This was actually, let me talk about the map. I do have this for all the fans that want to follow along. It's the entire leg of leg 4. It's mapped out for you. You can see where we were running, where we were doing stuff. Scan that QR code, pull it up. But it's definitely will give you more introductions, especially when we talk later about the loops some of these people were running on. When you see how this village is laid out, it makes a lot more sense on that map. But
Scott,
this was some start departures. Go ahead, Bryce.
I would have loved to seen what season is it, Brooke? Is it season 35? Ricky and Caesars. I would love to see what their map looked like because I feel like if they just stayed in one city.
That's their whole map.
Yeah, it was very small. It was very different. Very different.
It was like Amazing Race on a budget or something.
Well, that's what Danny said when we were interviewing Danny. He was like, "Lori, we were carrying balloons for heaven's sakes. We had no money in our season. Like we were carrying balloons.
Deliver a bouquet of balloons all the way across the city.
I would have killed to carry balloons. That's fine. I got no balloons or light. I'm into that.
I'd rather carry balloons than make rice. I'll tell you that. I would definitely rather do that.
Sure. Anything stand out to you with these departures? I know, Brooke, you're so good at your notes. You've got pages and pages of notes when you're doing the Purple Pants podcast.
14 pages front and back this week. I will say that I actually, the one thing that stood out to me here and the sadness of it is the way that the departures started, how Bernie and Kerrigan, I feel like they got a little bit I don't know if I can say screwed on your podcast, but to be the only team on flight number 2.
I agree with that.
I wish that it had been a world where the flight was such that everybody could have been equalized. Because I feel like they were sort of at a disadvantage from moment 1 of this episode because there weren't that many opportunities to pass the team in front of you. And for them, there weren't really any opportunities to pass the team in front of you. So they did it as well as they could have done.
Well, we were talking about this because I know when they got to the travel agency, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't get the next flight, but we'll give you the second flight." I was thinking, what if we went to the airport and they were like, "No, you actually can," because they have a carry-on, like they're not checking luggage, like they could run. I'm like, could they have made that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know we were at the airport watching because we were expecting at any point, not knowing how far behind they truly were, whether they were going to join us.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Jeff?
So the thing is, you can go straight to the airport as opposed. The reason they have you go to the travel agency is because at the airport, you can't like have them swipe your card and they're going to book it for you. That's just a check-in counter. They give you a tablet that you can go online and book a flight. But when Erica and I changed those flights on episode
in Hong Kong
3, when we changed the flight to go to Japan, episode 2, I got the guy behind the counter to let me use his email address on his tablet. So that was the only reason that we were able to get on that flight and book it at the airport was because the guy behind the counter let me use his email address because, as you know, it's against the rules to use your email address for anything. Right. So, but I
gotta say, I'm sorry, Jeff. You are just the king. You and Pops are the kings of getting somewhere, getting to the front of the line, getting on it. You really just are the smoothest talkers. For you even getting to the front of the line, your dad is getting people at the front of the line to go to the back of the line so that you could get at the front of the line. So I gave too much credit to just Erica. I thought you were like hanging out. I was wrong. You two are smooth.
Yeah. My dad, and when he did it, it was all him. He literally said, when he said, "I'll tell you what," I thought he was about to crack a joke. And I was like, "Oh, no, Dad." And then he mentioned like, "Hey, can we switch spots with you?" And I was in my head thinking like, man, that was genius. And I knew he was going to pull it off because the couple, they had just took like pictures with us and was super excited about us filming The Amazing Race, you know. So you didn't get a chance to see that.
You already had a connection.
Exactly. So he saw that and he seized on it and it was perfect.
Well, I thought Bryce nailed it in his depiction of how he thought it probably went down when you were talking about in the Purple Pants podcast. Do you remember that, Bryce?
Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah. And I relate to what you
smooth.
said. Yeah, you said that black father thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, for
Big
sure.
Lil Jeff could only hope to be as smooth as Pops. Because Pops
that's
has
my life goal.
Yeah,
I want to be just
got away
like
with
him.
words.
I really do. Yeah, he does. He does.
Well, we get there. That flight's, we had some time in the airport to strategize as teams, and I agree with you, Brooke. Missing out on that was tough for Bernie and Kerrigan, and also the mindset of knowing you're the only ones on that last. Like, how much checked out were they already at that point in their minds, knowing they're that far behind, right? Not knowing what's coming, not knowing there might be another equalizer point, in the leg. But from there, we land in Bali, and what do we have to do? Where are we heading? What happened, Jeff?
We land in Bali, and we have to go to that place. I don't remember. I'm sure you have notes, whatever the name of the place is. And it's like, so when we land at the airport, everybody's just racing in taxi cabs. We're at the airport long enough to try to look and see who looks like the fastest driver. Do you remember that part? like we're trying to see, okay, I'm gonna grab that driver. Wow. The lights just went off.
Whoa!
But yeah. But it's like, I'm gonna grab that driver. He looks like he's gonna drive fast. And whoever gets to this place first, you pick a sticker. You 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, so you have to pick this note, and it's the middle of the night, so obviously we're not gonna leave on the ATVs yet. But now you're finding what order you're gonna be able to drive off the next day. And if you excuse me, I'm gonna see about these lights.
Yeah, you do that. I know Brooke's got ideas.
Bryce and I always say, like, you look for the driver who looks like they just have like a little bit of a tick, or like some sort of just like they're just a little bit off.
A little neurotic.
Those people will just drive like a bat out of hell. Like, that's what you want, the one that's like not gonna obey the speed limit. You want the one that's just like
you want the crazy looking one. Yeah, exactly. For sure. That's what we was looking for. And then the one that you could probably tap on their ego a little bit and talk to them and say, hey, you're the speed racer. You're gonna win us this race, and you got to say the right stuff. So we knew what we was looking for, but we was number 6, so we didn't find what we was looking for. We missed it.
Well, I remember with Lori and I, we had a connection with our driver, and for safety reasons, they wanted to walk us out there, show us where all the cabs were positioned, so we'd run at least in the right direction once they released us from our spot. And I remember our taxi driver was pointing out where his cab was. And what did you do, Lori? I thought this was
so all the taxis were like in this like little loop area, and ours was the only one that was on the outside of this loop. So I told him back in, so then we get in and we can go and we can like clear out of that airport probably first, which we ended up leaving the airport first, just because of his car situation.
Yeah. So realizing the fact that there was conglomeration there of everyone kind of stacked in like sardines in a can, we recognized that. And you could tell when it was a foot race and all 9 of these teams got released. Where were Scott and Lori?
You don't see us because we're last with Melinda because we are slow runners.
We're in the back.
Because you parked in the perfect spot.
I feel that.
Yeah, that was smart. Yeah.
But Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Slogging for the rest of my life.
I love slogging. Yes, all the sloggers out there. I love it.
Brooke's adopted that term. She's got it now.
I love it. And it's so true. Like, I'm not a runner, and I'm not a slow jogger.
Not even a jogger.
Not even a jogger. No. It's a slogger.
Oh, be nice.
Slog.
Jeff, really quickly, do you remember when we were waiting in the airport and you and I were standing there? All of us were together, but you and I were standing there, and we saw what is it called?
Punjor.
The Punjor.
All the decorations.
And I was like, this is so interesting. I hope we don't have to make one of these. Like, you and I were looking at it and we're going, this is so beautiful. This is so interesting. I hope we don't have to make it. And we were talking about that it was made out of bamboo. Do you remember that convo?
I wish I could say I do, but no, I don't remember. I wish they would, but they weren't recording at the time.
No, they weren't recording us.
That was so funny to show.
But I was just like,
no, I don't remember that conversation.
Where you're not running for your life, right? So you're just looking around and enjoying. I was like, wow, these are so intricate and beautiful. But I was like, oh, shiz. I hope we don't have to make one of these.
At that time, I know when we landed in Bali, my mind was going 1,000,000 miles a minute because I wasn't able to transfer my currency. When we were in when we were in Japan, they ran out of Bali.
They ran out of Indonesian rupees.
So when we landed, the only currency exchange I could go to was like across the street from the, remember that across the street from the airport? And they kept saying, you got to wait on security. Like you said, safety concerns. And I remember I was like, I'm from North St. Louis, man. I could get over there and get back. I'll be all right.
You're not scared.
Have you seen me?
Let me
This is my arm. I am Jeff.
Who's this guy scared of?
Like, come on.
So like you might have been talking to me and I might have been nodding my head like, yeah, this is wonderful. But my head, I was
in
like,
your mind, you're like, how am I getting money?
And I didn't want to let it show on my face. Yeah.
Well, and when you look at the map, you'll see just how far we had to go. It was literally an hour 15 minutes away from the airport to get to this temple that we're driving to. And Indonesian traffic, even at like 8 o'clock at night, was still madness. Like it was chaotic. It was crazy. Like 5 wide sometimes in a road that should only have 2 cars. Like it was nuts. Lori somehow managed to grab a nap in the back.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm like, how long do I have? An hour? Peace out. Good night. Because again, I'm thinking we get there, we're going to be going again. And so I'm like, I need some beauty sleep.
But let's watch this short clip.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Anthony.
Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how they had such amazing.
Anyone but them. Anyone but them.
So you see that the clue will arise with the rising sun, or the clue will arrive with the rising sun. What were you thinking, Jeff? What were your thoughts?
I thought all of a sudden it was Survivor. I thought I was going to have to live like Bryce. You know, I thought we were sleeping on that grass next to it.
Yep.
I think we all thought.
Wait, where did you sleep?
They took us to a resort.
Yeah.
It was a hotel.
Oh yeah, we were at the Hyatt.
To drop that one.
We walked into the lobby. They bring us drinks. We were like, oh my gosh,
She's
they bring
lying.
us
You're lying.
It was beautiful.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So
little green drinks.
No, not lying. But there was a huge safety concern.
On floors. Are you people kidding me?
You were in season 29, Brooke. The world has changed since then.
Things are different now.
Hyatt? We get to go to a Hyatt Regency and get
was
the
a beautiful
fancy
Hyatt,
drinks.
too.
Oh my God.
It was so nice. All of
And
our
this
hotels
was the
were so
first
nice.
Hyatt, not the next Hyatt was that.
The next one's even better.
Like yeah. So
Colin and Christy from
We
season
slept in a
5
tent.
would be
Yeah,
having a
we did like
fit.
that on a floor.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
Well, but we all thought we were sleeping there.
We thought we were.
Everyone was
we were
starting to
prepared.
like pulling on their beanies, putting stuff over their ears, like pulling their socks over their pants so they didn't get bug bites. You know, like we were trying to figure out where's the most comfortable grass. And all of a sudden they pull up a shuttle and tell us to start loading up in the van. So that was nice. I was relieved.
Yes.
But here's the arrival the next morning, or a morning.
Yeah. So beautiful.
There's the guy. So excited now.
Welcome to the jungle.
Race an ATV through the mud.
Then drive through a long cave
leading to a waterfall.
Well, you will find your next
Well, first off, Jeff, you're wearing long sleeves. What's that all about? We're doing the same thing, so we feel your pain.
Man, all right, I'll tell you. So when we were headed to Bali, because you know the culture and everything, they pulled everybody together and had a meeting basically and said, hey, because of where we're going, if you have tattoos, you can't show them. You have to wear long sleeves. I have a tattoo on my leg, a big ass tattoo on my leg. And they said so I had to wear long pants and long sleeves. I only bought some really thick joggers. And it was like, okay, if I got to wear long pants, I'm only bringing these because it's going to be cold. So I'm like, I'm going to get the thickest ones that I can. That long sleeve shirt that I had on is made for like the cold. It's super thin so it don't weigh you down. But it's made for if you're out in the cold. We get to Bali, it's like 100. It's 100 and something degrees. So
and 100% humidity.
It was 100. It was so bad heat-wise. I'm pretty sure whatever like medical condition can come from being too hot happened to me while we was there, like a heat stroke. So I felt it, like I was hot. Yeah, it was bad, but I just kept pushing. But yeah, I was super hot.
What did your shirt smell like at the end of the day, Jeff?
I don't know, because I don't know about it was sweaty. I was drenched in sweat, so I'm sure it wasn't a good smell. Yeah, I'm sure it was bad. It smelled like rice and must. I'm sure. But I had a lot of deodorant though. Yeah, I started out smelling like Baccarat because I overpacked and I bought 2 different types of really nice colognes and all of that stuff. So I smelled really good at the beginning of the day, but I don't know how I smelled.
A couple of people on my season forgot deodorant. I was not one of them, but a couple did, and I had 2
Brooke, is that a smart decision of Jeff to be packing Cologne,
cologne. Maybe you don't need the cologne, but deodorant.
Cologne was over the top.
Bring your deodorant. I mean, there's something to be said for feeling good and feeling fresh. So if the cologne makes you feel fresh and you feel more awake and upbeat, and like when you don't feel good, you don't do well. And so you know what, Jeff, you can do no wrong by me.
I wanted to be me everywhere we went.
You can bring 2 colognes if you want to.
You can carry 50. I mean, you're humongous. You could, if you can,
it wasn't
carry it, you can bring it.
Well, I can say Lori and I felt like we were in the same boat. We didn't bring a lot of long sleeve, long pants anyways, except maybe for cold weather, because we were just trying to maximize the outfits for what the requirement would be. So most of our stuff was tank top-ish, shorter shorts, and we were realizing to be respectful to this religious community, like maybe we need to just bite it in the bullet and wear these longer. Like, I don't know why we thought black was a good idea for our long sleeve, long pants, but we were feeling it in that heat. Like
it was hot,
making you sweat for sure.
So
but when I read this clue, I heard race your ATV through the jungle. Is something wrong?
No, I was asking you. I thought because you had long sleeve on, I thought you might have a sleeve, a tattoo sleeve.
Oh, no,
So you guys don't have tattoos. I looked at it like, I think me and a couple other people took it as because we had to wear the long sleeves and pants. You guys did it in like solidarity with us because we had the tattoos that we had to cover up. So yeah, all right.
I thought he also meant more because the religious modesty. So I had a tank top and like shorter shorts. So I was like, that's a lot of skin showing, and so
that's a lot of Lori for people to be taking in.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so I don't want to wear a tank top to offend people, so I put on the long sleeve and the pants. For that reason, we have no tattoos.
And it makes sense.
But we were
you want to respect the local culture and everything.
But I know when I was reading that clue and I heard race ATVs, I mean, Lori and I have 8 sons and we're constantly doing adventures and stuff with them. We've taken quads and ATVs out and done lots of fun stuff. Times. Like I knew how to operate. I thought for sure this was an opportunity for us to overtake other teams. And you can see when we're peeling out, like I know how to handle that thing. In fact, one thing they cut from the edit, I wish they had kept, as we turned that first corner, I swear we had our ATV on 2 wheels and almost like rolled it because we were like turning out so fast. But then lo and behold, we find out that because the way they've got it set up, and you can tell from the cameraman or the people that are set up in the quads across from us, those are other tour operators operating those ATVs with our cameramen sitting on the back of their ATVs. So there's our camera guy in front of us videoing us as we go tearing through the jungle. And so they've got to hold at different times. We can't pass them. And so if they don't pass, we can't pass. And then we get into the tunnels and realize, oh, you cannot pass on this jungle trail at all. Like there's just no room to pass other people. But it was pretty awesome. Pretty magical to be seeing that waterfall and all that kind of stuff. But any thoughts on
when we were in Vietnam, we had a whole leg in rural Vietnam that was on bicycles and 1 gear bicycle, and it was like 50 miles in 100+ degrees on bicycles. Like if you didn't get lost, like, and then the camera guys were on mopeds next to our bicycles, and I was like, I will give you all of my money to switch
to give you a moped
with me.
Or just put your hand on him and have him go pull you.
But that's when I'm just yelling where we're going, like the name of it, because I'm not getting off my bicycle. I'm not having any person who lives there sign a release. I'm just yelling where we're going and hoping that people are pointing us in the right direction.
Point you the right. That's smart.
Yeah.
I was playing smart, Jeff, because I wasn't playing strong and I wasn't playing fast. So
I have a question. Scott and Lori, when you realize that you're not going to be able to pass people, is it going through your mind that Anna and Jonathan are going to be in the driver's seat, or do you not think it's coming up?
Yeah, we think it's coming up, and we are kind of bummed because we knew we could, especially Jonathan's start, like he has it in that lock
You
position.
could tell he was struggling to operate the ATV.
And even when you see him driving, it looked a little bit slower than
the background's
how Scott,
not moving as fast as ours.
We were confident we could pass them. We're not sure about Nick and Mike, but we were sure we could. Honestly, we were like, anybody getting that pass except them, it doesn't matter. Like, we just want anybody but them. But once we saw the trail that was so narrow, we're like, son of a gun. But we still went fast enough that at the end of it, when we were coming around,
we bunched up.
We bunched up and we saw Nick and Mike.
You see Nick and Mike pull into the background of Jonathan and Anna's.
The quads go around where all of the taxis are and then keep looping over where you can park it. So as we're driving around, we see Nick and Mike getting in the taxi. So we're like, oh, that's good because we see them. We deliver our quads, take our helmets,
rip and
read, run to the taxi, get in the taxi, drive away. We see no teams behind us. So we're like, oh, we have minutes or moments, like seconds. We did creep up on them because we did go faster with those quads. So
how long after sorry.
No, good question.
How long after Jonathan and Anna, do you know, got to the roadblock did you guys get there? Like, how much did you miss the driver's seat by?
So I have a pretty good idea because as we tore down that path after the roadblock where we tore and Lori decided she was doing it, I took off running, and you can see me, Lori, and then Nick and Mike behind us. As I turned the corner, I could see them finishing the driver's seat and walking towards the Rice Challenge. So I know
you saw that they were trying. You saw that they were going to try the Rice Challenge, or you didn't know?
They were walking to the Rice Challenge, but then by the time we got down the path to turn into the Rice Challenge, they were already reading their clue. So that's how I knew, based on my awareness of the game, there's no way they could have completed the challenge in that time period. They had to have burned their express
Well,
passes.
the clues were at the Rice Challenge, so it ain't that they went over there to do it. They had to go over there to get the clue from the lady that was handing out the clue.
Correct.
And,
that lady. That lady was cool.
Yeah.
She loved hugging everybody, especially the muscled guys.
Yeah.
So probably minutes, like less than 5, I would say, Brooke. I would say 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Yeah, under 5 minutes. We were right there.
So who would you guys?
Again, I was like, go Nick and Mike, like, because I knew they were ahead of us. I was like, I didn't care what team got it. I wanted any team but Jonathan and Anna to get it.
So I want to play this clip because this gives us a little bit of a glimpse into what Jonathan's mindset must have been, Jonathan and Anna, for how they were applying the driver's seat. But I do want to ask each of you, if you were in the race, what's the strategy you would have employed for the driver's seat? Okay. So we'll watch this one first. So now they're going to go look at the challenge and then decide what they're going to do. But who wants to go first? Bryce?
Bryce, hit it.
I mean, I'm not mad at their decision, right? Like the people that are right behind me, I want to give the biggest cushion. But I also think, amazing races like Survivor, you need alliances. So it's like, who really are you cool with? I don't really care about if you're physical or age. I want to make sure I'm protecting my people. And if you're not with me, if we're not working together, then I'm going to you're going to get 25 pounds. I think
you're not with me, you're against me.
You're against me. But the missed opportunity was, if you are going to use your express pass, which I feel like wrong decision, give somebody that 15, go back and give the 15. That was like my one thing that I hated to see from them. But I definitely love Jonathan and Anna. And I love how competitive Jonathan is. So it's like, I'm not mad at the 25.
Right.
But with a season like this and the U-turn coming, it's like I would have wanted to maybe scratch somebody's back so that could maybe protect me. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Brooke?
I worry for you two next week.
Foreshadower.
I'm curious to know if they could have gone back and changed their 15 to somebody else.
Great question. And so in their defense, the rules, and I've got this spelled out in the Google map. I have all the additional note stuff written in because I transcribed all that into my journal. The rules of the driver's seat says that once you assign a decal or magnet, whatever, you cannot switch to another team. So there needed to be some intentionality in how you initially applied. So they couldn't switch. They couldn't realize, we're burning now.
I got to tell you, you guys would have gotten to 25. Sorry, you're that good. You're at the front. I know you keep saying, we're in our late 40s. Like, we're slow. No, you're not. No, you're not. You two are great. You're at the top all the time. We see through it. They see through it. You're fooling nobody, but I'm enjoying it. And so you're getting a 25. Jeff, I mean, I'm like, not in love, but in love with your dad. So like, I probably would give you a little bit less. You guys are just so heartwarming, and but you're also humongous. And so depends on where you were, but the 3 teams behind me were getting it. And I actually enjoy Bernie and Kerrigan and their dynamics so much, and knew they weren't on my flight and they were behind. Like, I probably wouldn't have given it to them, but maybe if a different team were in last place, better them than me. And so maybe I would have given it to whoever was last, but in this case, probably not them.
I agree.
Well, and I feel like if there's somebody in the back of the pack that you're trying to protect, giving 25 to a team you also know is in the back of the pack communicates to that team, I'm looking out for you. So I did go back and look at ATV departures to see, was maybe there's some interplay there. Is there somebody that's towards the back of the ATV departures, somebody that Jonathan and Anna did see themselves working with? I don't know. But
I don't think so.
Also, Han and Holden were in 4th slot, but so they were one of the 3 teams that were right behind us. But for whatever reason, they got a 20 slot. So I was like, well, why did they miss Han and Holden there? Like, clearly they were focused on Nick and Mike, you know, Lori and I, and Alyssa and Josiah. But
although in all fairness, like, if I don't remember anything I said, anything I did, anything I thought, so it is very possible. I mean, they seem very intentional, but I also thought I was a very intentional racer. But again, a producer would be like, oh, you said this and you'll see it on TV. And I was like, I didn't, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. Right. So who knows what they were thinking and what they did and what they actually said. I think they're so fun to watch and I really, really enjoy them. And I like a lot of the things that they're doing. I got no problems with how this went.
Good. Jeff, how would you have done the driver's seat?
My thing is, so I'll be 1,000% honest, where we were at in the pack at the time, right? Like, you guys have seen the previous episodes and you knew where we were sitting at. I didn't necessarily think that, and there goes the lights again, but I didn't think that we were going to get to the driver's seat. My strategy and my hopes around the driver's seat were that somebody that's in the front of the pack would get it and piss everybody else off in the front of the pack, because I started worrying that you guys were going to have an alliance. And if you remember, Scott and Lori, we came in pretty much together on leg 1. We came in at the same time. We were in the same position, kind of middle of the road, almost kind of back of the pack at the time, right? So you guys made your move towards the front. And when you did, that's when I really started thinking maybe everybody at the front is going to begin working together. So I wanted whoever to get it. I just wanted chaos. I wanted chaos bad. I wanted them to piss everybody in that front of the pack off. So I never really thought like, okay, if we get there, what are we gonna do? It was more like what I hope happens when that person gets there and how I can use that situation once it happens.
So when you got to the driver's seat board, was the chaos you were expecting living up to the hype?
Oh yeah. I knew. So prior to the driver's seat, like when we found out about it at the previous pit stop and we got the instructions on what it was going to be about, I knew. Since then, everybody was talking about me and Pop's muscles. Oh, you guys are so strong. And, people hadn't been doing that yet. Basically, they was letting us know that if it's about physical task and we got to assign a lot of weight, it's going to you guys, and it's justified because you guys are in shape, right?
You guys should have worn baggier t-shirts, man. You were wearing you were showing, just wear a sack where no one can tell how muscly you are. It's just
yeah, no, you're right. So, and we realized that, and it was fine. I expected it. That's why I even said, like, I don't have a vendetta against Jonathan and Anna, but we do. Well, I guess that's an oxymoron, but we do want revenge.
But I want revenge.
So it wasn't a personal thing. I understood it, but we wanted revenge. But I expected it to be on us. I was not mad, but I just wanted it to make sure that the people up front went against each other afterwards. Yeah,
that is so good. But Scott and Lori, Brooke and I do have to run soon, but there is this burning question.
Yes, ask.
I got to ask. Now, we're asking about how you would do on the driver's seat board. Now, in retrospect, watching the episode, because Lori, you were killing it. You was damn right, Lori, you was killing it. And Scott, I think you were killing it.
Her, yeah.
Yes. And Scott, you were killing it on the side because I felt like as a viewer, every team that would come up, Scott was like, oh, y'all see what John and Anna did to everybody? Oh my God. And then here comes another team. Woo! You see what they did on that board? So now watching it, I'm like, I love Papa Scott. Okay, he is laying it on thick. It's so great.
Thick.
But also, we see how the end of the episode ends, and then Phil is trying to stir the pot and saying, "What do y'all think?" Were you shocked at seeing how the other people were like, "We see Scott and Lori; they're always number 2. They're not fooling anybody."
Yeah.
And sometimes one. Yeah.
Let me play a couple of clips because I want to get to that exact comment. We're going to skip the detour. There was definitely some shock from Jonathan and Anna when we pulled up. They were not expecting us to be there so quickly.
Why weren't you heckling them? I would have been like, oh, that was so easy. There was such an opportunity for heckling when you got to the detour and they were still there. I mean, that would have just been a little bit of fun.
Let me actually play this clip real quick. I did catch this when I was coming up with all my edit clips. I think this is why Jonathan used the Express Pass.
I don't see it, honey.
Oh. Oh, it cut off before the part I said. So he basically says when he gets back in the taxi, he's like, I wanted to get out of the heat. And the whole day was hot. But I honestly felt like he hears us because Lori and I are loud. We're running in at this point. And he realizes while Anna's doing this challenge, it's going to take us a minute. I'm going to be standing here having to explain myself. And
you mean like the heat?
They didn't want the heat.
The heat. Yeah.
I thought you meant the heat.
The driver's seat. No.
I don't know. I don't know.
So I'll let John tell his own story or whatever, but I think he has a really high sensitivity to heat.
No, there is. There is.
Yeah. So but no, that's funny though. That could be, it could go both ways.
I mean, nobody would want to be standing around every single team when you just
pissed off.
Alienated.
Yeah,
right.
And you're hoping to give yourself some space.
Anna Lee, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Where they got
that's Anna Lee. Which
one of you did it?
Who wrote her name down?
And
Scott was giving that energy to this episode.
He rounded everybody up.
Yeah.
So this is what I was not expecting. So these next two clips summarize it pretty well.
And
Stop. You good?
So the leg design. First off, they walked to the mat and
love it.
Got
Nice
forth.
job, you guys.
Great job, you guys. Have a look behind you guys.
And here comes another team.
So many teams. I cannot
And
believe.
another team.
All of us are coming
And another team.
Okay, Pop's
And
got
another
that
team.
quick.
Way to finish. So I am pleased to
He
tell
looks
you
so
that
good in
They're
that
all
will
are
be
safe.
racing in the next
And we're going to get to what this said on the mat here shortly. But what I didn't recognize or understand about leg design, and it led to a mistake that Lori and I made. We're in second place with the pin jars. We ran up to deliver our pin jar. There's a temple at the top of the hill. I didn't realize Indonesia is the land of a billion temples. There's literally like 10 just in this small village. But we thought, okay, this must be the temple. Nope, we're wrong. As we double back, we realize we passed Jack and Carson. They benefit from us going the wrong way, and they beat us obviously in the foot race. That's why they get to the mat in second. We're in third because they're much faster than we are. This entire leg caused some misdirection, people doubling back on each other. That bunching was not because everyone finished the detour at the same time. That bunching happened because everyone was running all over this village, going the wrong places, correcting each other. And it led to the biggest, not equalizer, but the biggest bunching point is what I'm going to call it, where Phil had the opportunity to basically give them a chance to compare notes. And here it is.
Not in our favor.
Not in a good way.
And those are all the teams that vote for Scott and Lori next week. Am I right?
I don't know. We can't.
You'll have to tune in. But I will say, and
it.
Brooke, you said it too. I never said that I was slow overall. I said I'm a slow runner. And I 100% agree. Besides Melinda and besides Pops, and only because Pops was injured, every single one of those on the line on your markets that go, Scott and I are last. We're dead last, no matter what. Even if they carried my packs for me, there's no way I can outrun them. And so that's what I said. I'm like, I hope we're not running because I'm such a slow runner, especially talking to Melinda, knowing that she's not a runner at all. And she had really bad knees. And she was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to, like, it's going to be awful if we have to run somewhere. And that's what I was telling people and talking to her about. So it was totally taken out of context that I'm like, I never said I was
don't even
slow
think it's you. I actually think it's Scott.
Thank you.
And I know we have to jump, but I do think it's Scott because Scott makes it a point because you have a loud booming voice where you're like, she's 49, or like sort of make it seem like, oh, I'm shocked Lori did it because we're the old team, or like, it still got it, girl. Like even, but like, I'm like, yeah, but like 49 or 65 or whatever, 66, like Pops.
Yeah.
It's just a number. Like you guys are killing it at every leg. So I'm excited to see it. I don't know what happens, but I am a little worried to see what happens in it. I believe it's a U-turn.
Well, you know, when you see Phil and there's no Matt, that's never a good thing. I know we were all shocked to go around the corner and oh crap, there's Phil.
Yeah, we can't talk about the specifics, but the episode title for next week is It's Not Personal, It's Business, episode 5. Clearly, and in the storyline, CBS says Phil Keoghan shocks the teams when he announces a surprise double U-turn where teams must cast their vote live. And the two teams with the most votes are required to complete both detours. So yes, we can't confirm.
We cannot confirm or deny, Brooke.
That's fine.
For those
I don't
who
need
don't
it.
know,
I got it. I'm thinking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bryce or Brooke, do you have any last question for
Bryce?
Scott and I? Yeah. Before you have to run.
Bryce? Well, I think.
Oh, so many. How are the 437 children dealing with watching their parents kill it on the Amazing Race? What is that experience like for you as parents? I'm assuming they're cheering for you because y'all are killing it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it's extra special because we never told them about the challenges. We never told them what placement they got. So they had no idea that we won, that we got second place. Like they had no idea about anything. So to watch their reactions, genuinely shocked and surprised. And I think that's kind of where Scott maybe is misinterpreted when he's cheering for me. He is letting me know, not everybody else, like, oh my gosh, Lori, you're freaking amazing. Like, we lost a bunch of weight. We have all these kids. Like, you're freaking awesome. Like, I can't believe you're doing, like, this is so it's more of a cheer to me. Other people are interpreting it like 49. Oh my gosh, you're an old lady, but you can do this. It wasn't that at all. It was him going, freak, my wife's awesome. Like, yeah, but they have been shocked, and like I have still shots of them because I record their reaction as we're doing. So when we won, right here going, like they are just freaking out, and it's like the best feeling ever. Yeah.
So I would say my question is, first of all, I saw the pictures they showed of you. You guys look fantastic. But my question is this: editing is a real thing. How do you feel that, because we've spoken to the eliminated teams, and they're like, well, they didn't show this, they didn't show that. This would have told our story more. How do you guys feel the edit has been how do you feel about the edit that has been shown of you? Do you think it's accurate, or do you think there's things they're missing to this point?
I think it's totally accurate because I kind of showed in the last episode us arguing. That wasn't us arguing. That was just being very poignant and direct with each other. But yeah, people are always like, oh, are you worried about? And I'm like, no, because we're never yelling. We're never swearing at each other. We're never pitching a fit. We're never doing anything like of that nature. That's just not our personalities. And I'm like, I felt like so far it's been spot on. What about you, Scott?
Well, I feel like one of the things we've enjoyed by doing our own recaps is getting to share what gets left out of the edit that we maybe think is interesting and, fans might appreciate. But I feel like it hasn't been maliciously editing us differently than how we normally are. But again, like Laura was saying, I feel like we went in with intentionality of like, we're going to be who we are. So it doesn't matter authentically ourselves, how you depict us, which clip you use of Scott and Lori, like, that's who we always are.
I guess there'd be a couple parts where I'm like, oh, I wish they would have shown that. Like in that challenge, we get to the mat and Phil was like, hey, just FYI, Lori, not only were you the fastest of getting the rice, but you beat every other team, the 15-pound, the 20-pound, and the 25. You did it the fastest. And production that did it yesterday, you did it faster than all of them. And I'm like, that didn't get aired. People don't know that I did that. I'm like,
Lori beasted out that challenge.
She did. They said the way Scott was cheering, we don't need to air it. We got
Scott spilling all the beans.
We don't need Phil. We got Scott.
I think a lot of people don't know that it wasn't just about making 25 pounds of rice. You had to make clean rice, right? So I kept going up there and I had 25 pounds probably 5 or 6 times. But the lady will dig in your bag and find grass and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So if you watch the episode, you don't like further into the challenge, you don't see me steady trying to beat the thing and make rice. I'm digging through my bag, picking out every piece of grass so that I can go back up there.
Jeff.
Come on, Jeff. I know it.
Come on, Jeff.
I know it, man. I know it. We on first take, and I had a bad game last night because I get it. I get it, man. Yeah.
I'm Steven, you LeBron. Don't,
I know
don't
it. I
walk
know.
up
I
on
know
me.
it. No, I'm Bronny right now. LeBron was standing there watching me. Yeah, I'm Bronny.
Well, thank you so much for having the two of us.
We know you guys have to go.
It's short,
yeah, we're gonna
but
say goodbye to you
super
guys.
fun, and cannot wait to see you in person, meet you in person, Jeff, to see you in person, and Pops again. Tell him I said hey, and we'll talk to you soon.
Everybody definitely tune into the Purple Pants podcast. They do an amazing job with all things Amazing Race. So thanks for joining us, and that's our show for this week, guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.